the good part of this function is almost all the people who signed up have come except one Loki. So we had a large spot bartane. Spot okay. So he's there on the way, and Chandra's mother had some health issues. So he's coming, he's on the way. But we didn't want to delay it further because
open again.
And I was telling Sanjeev, the only person Vaisagala is the person who is no longer there, right? So it is a natural process. You got 10 times. So in that context, that will give you what is the cycle of life of that. నేను లిరిక్స్ కేಳಿಯಲ್ಲ
ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಪ್ಪ ಇದರ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿ Your rating is 50 now.
Obviously.
ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕಾಯ್ತಾರೆ ಮೈಸೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ತೀಯ
ನೋಡಪ್ಪ ಈ ಫೇಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಯ್ತು ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ
ಏನಪ್ಪ BSc program ಇವತ್ತು
Yesterday we had meeting in the DC at Mysore. DC.
You can volunteer and take maybe a minute or half a minute or more than that. And hey, and record ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So ಮಾತಾಡುವಾಗ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾತಾಡಿ. ನಾಗರಾಜ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ನೋ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀಯಾ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ರಿಫ್ಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ
ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ
ಎದ್ದೋಡಪ್ಪ ಲಂಚ್ ಲೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾರು ರಾಮ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡು ನಾನು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಮ್ಮರಿ
ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಎಣ್ಣೆ ಹೊಡೆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಮಾತಾಡೋದು
So 50 years of wastage. Hopefully the next 10 years we'll make the best of it. I've done a few things which just came to my mind and I attempted. Some of them worked, some of them are not. I'm trying to do a few more things in the next 10 years. Survival of the person who takes the most risk is what works. So risk is better than regret is my take on it. And I love most of the friends here. I've not interacted too much with a few guys here, so I can't.
It's not too late.
Now some of the guys who've been a constant friendship, encouragement, gyan and all that. So hopefully the next 10 years should be the same. Thank you.
Thank you.
Like, today, so even when I look into my photos, the old photos 30 years back, as I think you should think age as just a number. That's my advice. And flow with the life. So I believe in that. Whatever comes, just flow with the life. And just do your things, current thing. Keep engaged, keep occupied, keep cheerful, and go with the time.
Keep on time.
And that's my advice. That's all. Whatever may be, go with this thing.
Be engaged with whatever physical, mental, whatever. Idle putra ek big age hoga.
Yeah, that's what.
So keep it active.
Things. When we started way back in the 90s, right, UVCE was one of the top colleges to look up to, the top 3 colleges, right? So from that perspective, we all joined the top college, the top, most sought after course. So for many, it's a dream, right? From that perspective, we are lucky, right? We are a generation, we continue to be lucky because we all rode the boom which the industry went through right after Narasimha Rao's 1992 reforms. We all rode that boom, we are very lucky as well, right? And third, if you look at this group, I have been interacting with many of you, very, very successful. Okay, each one of you is successful, and I'm very proud to say that it's probably as successful as any IITs or as successful as any other group. You may not have started many companies like some of the other Infosys and all that, but still we have done very well for ourselves. So we are lucky there as well. So we have been lucky throughout, and we are blessed as a group. The only thing I want to say from now is, okay, what do we do next? We are now 50. The next 10 years, right? Time to reflect back and see what is it we can do and give back something to the society, right? People like Anand are at a place where we all want to be, right? So give back whatever in a little way, whatever you can back to the society, and the next generation, which are your kids, right? Bring them the right values, because we are again lucky there as well, because we all came from middle class and upper middle class and lower middle class, and we are here now, right? So we saw the best of both worlds. We saw the best of the poverty, we saw the best of affluence as well. So we need to bring that kind of value. I mean, again, I can't think of a previous generation which had this balance, which strike the balance between those two, right? And reflect on that as well. The last point is, how do you bring those values which we have learned from all this luck to the next generation, is what I would expect each one of you to do, and also contribute something in whichever little way you can back to the society, whether it is mentoring people or doing whatever you can within the industry or within your communities. Okay? Thanks, guys. We are very, very lucky group. That's what I can tell you. There is no regrets.
Well said, well said. No benchmark change it, okay?
So I think most of you know me as a rank student and being at the top in the school, college and stuff. And it doesn't matter. As Murthy said, everything evens out. It's a zero-sum game. So whatever you do in between makes a lot of difference to each one of us. I think some of you know that I've been to Doha for the World Cup. So played a lot of football, watched a lot of football. Something that I continue even today. I played badminton, started at TT coaching recently for my son. I'm doing it for myself. So playing is one thing that keeps you energized. Of course, I do some work at office as well. It's not that I don't.
After 11 p.m., I see you active.
So I think enjoy whatever you do and break the rules. And there are too many people who try to take sides, take positions, be it in corporate or in personal life. In breaking the rules in personal life is more important. And I think I stand by that, and I try to break the rules quite easily. But it's very difficult for me to follow. That doesn't mean that we won't create chaos in the environment, because it's very difficult for people to put in something and run an administration. Right? I'm part of the management, so I know how difficult it is to run a system, to run an organization. But at the same time, we don't have to follow anything people. Since some of you know that I'm from HPE, we are kind of known in the Silicon Valley for being an ethical company. We remove CEO with just a drop of a coin as well, if you take ethics. So we've done a lot even here, not just terminations, even promotions.
Chandra!
Best out.
Thank you.
So I think you break the rule.
The last 50 years is really flight fast. So that's what I can say. And other than that, I have no regrets of what I'm doing. And what others doing also I'm enjoying. So this is the best place to be with all of the people, over 25 people. And I really thank Girish. I think 10 years back, he is the one who initiated all these things.
Yeah, right.
So that's the one I really appreciate. Basically, universe is the Brahman. Anyway, that's all I can say. And all the best to all of you guys. So whatever you guys do after 50 years.
Dinesh.
Dinesha.
When I look back, I think like what everybody has been saying, 50 is the new 20 is what I think. You know? Everybody has black hair or dyeing their hair black, so it feels like we are still young and energetic. And even though the number of t-shirts small is a little limited, but we still kind of remain in the same bracket more or less. But when you kind of look back at, I think, on the theme of everybody else, like Three Idiots, the movie, and now we are the 25 Idiots kind of movie, meeting together after 50 years. The camaraderie and friendship that we make in college, it's a lifelong association. We share things and all the secrets, ambitions, passions, we kind of share it equally with our friends. Even now we can talk to them informally and we still have that same relationship that we had almost 30 years back, which is great. And I think it'd be great if we continue that going forward with a lot of the other folks that are part of the group. My personal ambition is I visited 3 continents. I kind of want to visit the other 4 continents and kind of make a visit. But for me personally, I think it's great. I've been inspired by a lot of people in our group. Like for example, I think people called out Anant, leading a life with a mission. We have a few people with startups and other things that they've had done. A lot of great stuff and a lot of new initiatives that I think will transform not only India but also worldwide. So great company to be in, and I'm really inspired to be in this group. Even Damania, I've seen his cycling and some of the other stuff that he does. Very inspiring for me personally to be fit and kind of take it to the next level. So great to be in this occasion with friends. Thank you.
Reflection.
Reflections of 50 years back. Kannada ಮತ್ತು English ಯಾವುದು?
ಹಿಂದಿನೂ ಮಾತಾಡ.
ಹಿಂದಿ ಆಂಟಿ ಹಿಂದಿ ಅವ್ರು ಹಿಂದಿ
Mix Sanskrit out.
Nobody got it. Nobody got it.
See, so when we talk about 50 years, actually when the whole idea came and only myself and Girish, we were just having a casual conversation. 3 ವರ್ಷ ಆಯಿತು, ಒಂದು ಸಲ 25th year ಸಿಲ್ವರ್ ಜೂಬ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಾಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಮುಂದೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋಣ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಗ then suddenly this thought came saying that most of us will be on the verge of 50. So ಅದರಿಂದ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡು so we thought that we will organize an event celebrating our 50 years. So that's how this whole thought came. And of course 25 ವರ್ಷ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೆದಿದ್ವಿ, 25 ವರ್ಷ ನಮ್ಮ ಕೆಲಸ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಸೊ ಈಗ ಮುಂದಿನ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು 25 ವರ್ಷ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಇರೋಣ, ಅದೊಂದು ಭಾವನೆ. ಸೊ ಹೋಪ್ ಗಾಡ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಇನಫ್ ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ 25 ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಏನೇನು ಸಾಧನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಅಮೇಝಿಂಗ್. ಅದು ಒಂದು 2 ವಾಕ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬರು ಅವ್ರದ್ದೇ ಆದಂಥ ಫೀಲ್ಡಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟೆ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ ತಮಗೆ ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡಿರೋಷ್ಟು ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಯಾರೂ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ಗ್ರೂಪಲ್ಲಿ ಬೋನ್ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡಿರೋಷ್ಟು ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ ಯಾರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬರು ಸೊ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಟ್ ಎ ವೆರಿ ಎಂಗೇಜ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ಆಫೀಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಟ್ರಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೋ ವೆರಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬರು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬಟ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋರು ನಾನಾಗಲಿ ದಿನೇಶ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಭಾಸ್ಕರ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂಥವರೆಲ್ಲ ಸೊ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಬೀನ್ ಟು ಐ ಟಿ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆ ಥರದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡೇ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ವಿ ಕೀಪ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಗ್ರೋ. ಸೊ over a period of time everything averages out. So ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಮುಂದೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಆದಂತಹ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸೊ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ ಖಂಡಿತ ಏನೋ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ರವಿನೂ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಅವನು ಕೂಡ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟೆ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೆದರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ IT ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಮೂರ್ನಾಲ್ಕು ಜನ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಫ್ಯಾಂಟಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ let's hope that we will keep on celebrating this for next 25 years.
We just need a reason to meet.
There are punchline.
ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ 25 ವರ್ಷ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ
Sir,
three
taking
people,
water,
3
soda,
elders who
water.
have a problem with sodium.
No, I really appreciate Chandra
Yeah.
coming today, though
Yeah.
his mother had some emergency.
Thanks.
But the rest of you are
organized ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. So starting ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ವಿ ಬಟ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಟು ಗಿರೀಶಾ ಅಂಡ್ then finally we put it up.
She's fine.
She's back home, huh?
First thing I want to say is, I think I'm lucky to have friends like all of you. What I am saying is that most of the things what I have watched, I think I have done a bit lucky. Because I don't know how many of you know, is I was the last one to get into electronics from mechanical, just because one person who got it decided not to join. I don't remember his name, but I still should thank him. Okay. So one of them dropped out after some people, and I had just missed with 1 mark for extra. Whatever we do, there's the transition. Girish. Okay. Memory is here. Okay. So now you know from whom I copied. So yes. So I feel so good. I feel so lucky that I have friends like all of you. Lot of courageous people, successful people, people who have achieved. There is so much to look forward. Okay, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ okay ಇವನು ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅವನು ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ he is doing that great. I feel so good about this, being part of this team. Right ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಬಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓಡಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ DC ಕ್ಯಾಂಟೀನ್ ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನೆನಪಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣಮೂರ್ತಿ ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ yes we ride the boom. We became confident. So yeah, all these years, yes, lot of things have happened. I wouldn't want to attribute everything to that. So I have done it, but it has happened. Similarly, on Heldange, I hope we will have also be able to contribute to the society. ಒಂದು ಆಸೆ ಇದೆ. ಮನಸ್ಸು ಇನ್ನೂ ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಓವರ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. It takes some time to happen.
ನೀನು ಸ್ಕೂಬಾ ಡೈವಿಂಗ್ ಬಂಗಿ ಜಂಪ್
See, two happening at the same day is not happening. Let us go and do it. That really came. This is the problem of internet. You read more, you get to know more. Friends, you will always have that skill. But yeah, once you do, you will find it. It's fun.
Balaji, T-shirt ಯಾರು ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ
So first of all, I think we all owe thanks to Girish, Chandra, Anant and Murthy, Nagaraj for the, I think, initially bringing people together. I think all of us have been busy in our own world. I think that small little bit of extra enthusiasm and needing to bring all of us together and reconnecting all of us like this, it doesn't happen easily. So first, that is something that I really thank the organizers for doing this and on such a scale. Because for me personally, I thought it was very from there meet and then discuss. But I think this is a very grand celebration in accordance with I think the multiple events that he has been organizing. I think that is part of the experience.
Yeah, marketing.
For him, it's like a day-to-day activity probably. That being said, I think it's been a lot of years. Many of you guys, I think we have met right after college. I think I'm meeting Gopi after college. Okay, but looking back, I think the image that each of us have of each other, it takes us back and makes us that much more younger. While we could have aged differently, I think the mental age, till when we reconnect with our college friends or school friends, it brings back all those kind of nostalgic memories. Some of them would be good, bad, foolish, whatever, but that is what keeps it, I think, brings the feeling of being alive. And I think like Suresh said, so playing or whatever hobby, career, all that is, whatever keeps us motivated going forward. I think that is what we need to look forward to. Each of us have our own calling as to what we want to do. But I think as long as we have that energy in us, I think 50 or 80 or 90 doesn't matter. Okay. So all the best to each of you.
One of the youngest two of our
So as Girish was saying, we both are HSC, so we are and we'll be in forever. Okay, Sanjeev was saying age is just a number. It's absolutely right, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 100 count 100, 1 count it's just a number. We are increasing. For example, when I joined, it was 3,000 rupees salary. When I joined after my
You were lucky.
lucky. Okay. So now we see 5 digit also, 6 digit also, right? It's just a number, that's it. But we are wearing the same clothes, we are wearing the same underwear, maybe brand will be different. Maybe brand will be different. Maybe brands will be different, okay? I grown up in such a
Give it one more t-shirt.
Okay, as you were saying, we are parents, people born in the 70s or 80s year, we know what is life, because we are seeing the life at the ground level, and we are on the top now, correct? Everyone are here on the top level. So we have come from that society, okay? So what I request you all is, we have come from the society, we will do something to that society. See, we are having a FP package, everything, we have everything. Okay, but what we are given to the society, that is important, that counts out. Okay, like Anand was doing a very good job, like he's doing helping for a startup companies, and he's moving around, he knows social, he's doing a lot of other activities. So like that, see, when we go get into the field, we'll come to know how we've grown up. Okay, even though AC all are CXO categories, IITs, IIMs, okay. So we don't want to get into that level now. Why you can't get into that level? If you go to the top level now, obviously you become aged. You cannot mingle with the people who are young people, okay? And you should go to the ground level, see what are their problems, what is their interest to grow. Start with the kind of competitive exams, education institutes, for example, IAS, AS, or banking examinations, or coaching for IIMs, CAS. So let us work together. Here I was to start over there, and you know let us challenge. Okay? Let us do something like let us form a charity trust kind of thing among ourselves. Let us do something to the society with respect to cultural, with respect to education, with respect to social. A lot of people, they don't have water also in the villages. Maybe PM some, what is that? Jal Yojana, but literally I traveled a lot of villages because I'm into market research. I do a lot of Moolabhuta Saukharyagal. I do just go to a survey and give it to ISEC. Okay? But still, people are saying it is on the document, but practically it is not happening. Let us be educated, so called, okay, and we the CFS category, and we are sufficient with respect financially. We are very much okay, as per my knowledge, right? So let us do something to the poor people so that they can grow. That is my intention. That's what I wanted to say at this junction. Thanks for your time and listen to my words.
Normally I will break for lunch and then
So I remember, in one of the earlier gatherings UVC, I don't know which one. Someone said about UVC versus IITs. IITs versus I always like UVC are you and me. together, right? Like after engineering college, we had all discussed, we didn't have telephones, no email, nothing, right? But I saw how Girish like brought everyone together and put us in one group and like he just organized all these events. So that's something really I want to acknowledge. And coming to what you were saying, right, helping others and all. He and Chandra last year helped drive this, contributing to the the core students of the college, and thanks to them, I was also able to get into it. So and reflecting on myself about this UNB part, right, like like Krishnamurti was saying, right, we wrote that wave of liberalization and all those things. But at that time, I don't know how many of us knew about it, right? Like at least I was myself worried whether I'll get a good job, how long how will it go, and whether I can do it well. So I just got into the job that was offered to in the campus, and that was in L&T, and they sent me to Calcutta. And then it was not really the right fit for me. At that time, Karthik and Balaji, they helped me a lot. I used to actually write letters to them, no email, remember those days. I used to write letters, and especially Karthik helped me how to prepare for the Infosys, entrance test, and I got through it thanks to him. So I found, that's really, I got into the right track after that. So that's how that we all together, right, really came in. So one more thing I want to add is, in the recent years, I've been involved with the organization called Heartfulness. I don't know if any of you have heard about it. 2 days ago, on 26th, our Heartfulness guide, Kamlesh Patel, he was awarded with Padma Bhushan. So, I've been involved very minimal, but I'm glad to get involved more and more. It is reaching out to more educational institutions and all levels of people, right? Bringing some of our ancient yoga techniques and relaxation into the process. So I hope I'll be able to get involved more, and also anyone interested at all, I'll be very happy to connect with you. So thank you.
So what we'll do now is we'll break for lunch. You can get the food inside, and then we will do it.
They might not allow you to bring the food in.
Oh, is it so?
It's future. Is still working or
Yes.
some kind of consultancy?
Yes. He's already got some customers.
About what offshore? Service? Sales activity offshoring. Your
Anil, we can sit inside.
Golden days. Amazing. I was telling my wife, problem ಏನಂದ್ರೆ absolutely. ಬಾಲಾಜಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತ ನೀರು ಇದೆಯಾ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ
ಅದಲ್ಲ
ನಾವು ಫುಲ್ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡೇ ಬಿದ್ದಿರೋದಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ವಾಟ್ಸಪ್ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು
ನಾನು ನವೀನ್
And the party fund will go in legal say.
ನನಗೆ ಕಮಿಷನರ್ ಗೊತ್ತು ಅವ್ರು ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರು ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು
Okay, so but the first one which I wanted to bring it under, some people didn't even knew my name in this group. They came and said, "Hi Deepak." I was thinking, why is he calling Deepak? Okay, then I didn't want to disappoint. I said still hello and whatever it is. So first of all, the people who don't know me in this group, my name is Gopi Bangaram. So that's the first thing. Okay, and second, it's I think Balaji was saying that I'm meeting him after college. Right, I mean 3 decades. But when you still meet him, that rhythm is still same. That feeling is still same. You know, Balaji, is like still like a cricket, music, right? You are not seeing him as a different person. What he's done in last 30 years. Still you are having the same bond, whatever it is, right? And so many other people, right? I think when I met him, because anyway we never used to go to the class. Okay. But anyway, jokes apart, I think all I can say is I think health is the most important thing, which I think some of you covered it, some of you did not. But I feel at this age, it's most important that if you have to stay for a long time, I think whatever shit we have done for a long time, let's see how to manage that and stay healthy, so that we can stay for a long time with the kids. Right? It's not that they need a money, it's just that they need that feeling and the place that my father, mother, everybody is there. So that's all I wanted to say. Number one, about health. Second, I think most of you spoke about let's do something charity, whatever. But let's put into some actions and let's make it happen. That's all. But kudos to Mr. Malia and so many other people who is running behind this. Nice. But you would have got fired if you are in IT because zero diversity. You cannot run a ship with that zero diversity. You would have got fired. Next time when you do it, I want to see at least. I want to see. And separate list will come from me sidewise. Ensure others come or not, but ensure they are there. So,
You not get fired. You just know you will get fired because you are the one who instigated. You just get fired.
So again,
July
okay, again, cheers to everybody.
Especially when it's after lunch, it's not a good time to give speeches. The fact is, again, I'm meeting all of you after having met you in college. So we are counting those years itself. just makes me feel good that, I mean, a sense of gratitude that I'm still there to meet friends whom we had met a long time back. I think a sense of gratitude that we're all alive first. Let's not discount that. I don't want to sound threatening, but I think we should go to the fact that we are there, here, healthy, and we're able to come together and meet. We should respect that and hopefully take care of ourselves. I think everybody that I meet who are in this span of their life talks about health in many different ways. So I'm not going to prescribe or I'm not going to suggest anything. I'm sure each one of you is going to do your bit to take care of yourselves. And I think you have to take care of yourselves first for yourself only. And last 50 years, I think the best part of the last 50 years happened before you started earning money, when you were in college. And after earning money, I think it has just been following a certain pattern of life. And as they say, in reality, I think it is the 40s which allows you to live the life that you want to live. And most of your insecurities are a little behind you and you start to do things that you want to do. I hope all of us are in this, I presume all of us are in that phase. Everybody's talked about economic success, that's important. But that's not everything about life and all of us know that. And everyone has our own journey on economic success. There is no milestone. I think we are just crossing milestones. Everybody has their destinations and we are all committed to those destinations and we'll continue to chase them. Personally, I think I have gone the other way around. All of you, when I meet people here, I get a little intimidated. You guys talk technology, you talk, this interface, that interface, that development. I think anybody can be a student today. So I've actually moved the other way in life, so I've gone back to school now. So my engagement is at a very different level with very different people, but it has actually taught me a lot more about life. And I think my only small, I would say, I want to say, let me use the right word because my lips are a little heavy and not rolling well. My only little prayer for all of you is that all of you have more life for one life. And so I think you should do whatever you want to do. And whenever I think we all call it a day, I think looking back, there should be a thing that we feel we want to do but didn't end up doing for something or the other. So wishing you all more life. It might sound like a marketing slogan, but I think there is some meaning in that slogan. And lastly, please forgive me for not having kept in touch. So look forward to more such occasions. And I think what I think matters in today's life, but the other aspect of life, one last bit of realization and, if you want to say, a little bit of preaching. More than money, what matters is relationships. And I hope we are there for one another in good and bad times. I'm sure all of us cannot be with one another at the same level of depth that every one of us wants it to be. But I'm sure there are small groups of people here who are well connected. Please nourish that, keep that going, because people who have lived long are the ones who had the greatest relationships. So wishing you all good health, success in all dimensions, and hope to catch up soon. Thank you.
In 1990, when we started first year engineering, I had a great sense of inferiority complex. Because all of us, like toppers, getting good scores, answering the queries and the questions from the lecturers, I used to avoid it. There's a tremendous, we can say, inferiority complex. It took a long time to understand marks, grades, ranks, just a part of the life. There is not more than anything. And when I embarked on a different terrain like law, something unique, it was my passion. I was an RTI activist. So that propelled me, and I was able to do LLB and masters at the age of 45. Then I realized anything is possible. Age is just even today. Last 2 years, I am doing one or the other certification in technical. So, I'm happy, we are all meeting together. And one regret is Chandra is my schoolmate. I realized after 32 years, I came to know Chandra is my classmate.
Classmate in school.
School. So it's a happy occasion, and I always appreciate Girish. He is a very shy person. Even today I don't understand the transformation he has undergone and the way you connect with the people, the communication, 24/7 kind of replies. I'm really surprised. So health is very important, as Satish has said. If you maintain health in next 5-6 years properly, then the rest of the life will be peaceful. That itself is counts, and connecting with the people, moving with the people, and conversation, we should continue. That's what I would say.
As world ages, we all have aged. Some of them might have calendar ages, but different people age biologically. Some may be very old and some may be young biologically. They still may be kids or whatever. Okay, they are nothing much in terms of achievements. Only thing is being with a group of people who have achieved in the last 30 years. I feel very happy to be in that group. And thanks for the organizers for bringing all the achieved people, the great achievers, and being part of that group feels me happy. And, once again, thanks for and see many more things like this, events like this.
So you wanted the next get in Thailand, right?
Yeah. We can have it in Goa. I haven't. Everybody says, everybody says that when, during graduation you go to Goa and start your drinking. I'm waiting for that opportunity to go to Goa.
Right? No, waiting. Have not been to Goa.
I don't want to start in Bangalore. Maybe Thailand is the right place to get started.
Depends what you want to start.
Can you start?
Drinking you can start at any age, but other things, there is an age for it.
I don't know if he's going to time and drinking.
First of all, I would like to thank this WhatsApp. I think we are all here. And secondly, I would like to thank Girish, Surya, Chandra, who were behind this part of this program. And I see none of the females participated in this. I think we should take care next time when we meet for the platinum.
But don't put all the feathers in one basket.
And we are all happy to see, a few people, over the decades we used to meet in between, and few of them not. I think, this is the right occasion to meet after 50 years. That's all. Be healthy, be safe, enjoy your life, whatever it comes, take it.
A lot of serious philosophical talk, but today I feel that I'm 20 years old. Thanks to all of you. So really you brought on my age today. Plus, of course, the whiskey brought it even further. It brought it to 80. Amazing to be here. I think we are in a stage where slowly I can sense, at least in my circle, some of the partners, some people not being there anymore. So enjoy whatever you have, be happy, and let's meet more often. Thanks to the organizers.
The first thing which strikes your mind is when you meet, you don't feel that age in between or that gap in between. You don't connect because his work somewhere, because we were together in that KR circle, other Jagge's canteen, and you can still connect. So we could meet a lot of people every day, but we can never connect, all that stuff never happens. This is one of those groups which we have where you can connect at a different level compared to the rest of the people you meet in the day-to-day life. So that's something which will remain, and I think even 20 years hence, we'll still connect what happened, all that stuff. So that's one thing which cannot get taken away by anybody or by any circumstances or anything. So that's the first thing. So it feels nice to be connected. So the only recommendation or the thing would be, if you get an opportunity to be there, be there. Just for your own self, not for the others or anything. Try and connect whenever you can. one person, two person. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, it's a great thing that people are taking those additional steps. People like me are traveling or doing something extra, so we don't actually have that. We want to do, but we're not able to do. So thanks, Balika, Chandra, Anand, Nagaraj, all of them for kind of putting this together. So that's the second. The third is, all of us spoke about physical fitness and things like that. I've been through some instances where people are physically fit but mentally stressed. Okay, so we need both of them to be in a combination so that we can enjoy life full form it is. And lastly, take life as it comes. Don't get too stressed. Don't let your pressure take you anywhere. What you need to do, you will anyway do. So you don't need to compare yourself with anybody. You are part of this 94 group. So you don't need to compare with anybody else. Have I reached there or not reached there? Whatever you are doing is the best and nothing compares to it. So these are a couple of things I want to say.
It's great to meet everybody after a long time. I was part of the last get together also, the 25-year one, and I like the meeting there. Before that, I haven't met anybody for past almost 20 years. So it was a good meeting for the 25 years, and now again meeting again, liking this group all this time, and keep following WhatsApp, but can't go with the pace of it. Yeah, so pace of the members. So we can't. But anyway, a lot of you talked about a lot of things about charity, about helping each other. I think I'll be happy to participate in whatever ways I can in any one of those activities. And regarding the last 50 years, how it went, I don't know. But the next 10 or 20 years, whatever we live, I want to live to the fullest, and I think that is the same thing I want to try to do.
The most is that there's so many diverse experiences. Everybody has a story. I think there are very interesting things in their respective stories. They have done phenomenal things individually, I think, in their own lives. At the end of the day, I think it's very difficult to define success. Somebody looking at the last 50 years and saying, okay, somebody is being successful. Very difficult because success is not very unidimensional. Right? It's not about wealth or position. It's about success in many ways. It's about family. It's about how happy you are. I think that's really what will also determine how you live the next few years or whatever. Hopefully, it's the next 50 years. I'd like to think of the 50 golden milestone as a midpoint as opposed to saying, oh, we have this now, 10 or 15 years. I think also look at it as the opportunity of 50 years more. What can you do? It's almost like living a life again. And I think it's a great time to sort of make up your mind as to how you want to live your next 50 years. Right? So I think really looking at it that way, again keeping in mind that it's important to correct every mistake you've made in the past, probably as you do the next 50 years, probably is one way you can do extremely well and you can be very satisfied at the end of it. So I'd like to leave with that thought, but very nice to meet all of you again. And thanks to the organizing team and Girish especially for getting this all together.
First of all, I congratulate each and everyone that we are reaching 50. So, this was 1994. So, everybody went in their own way. Like, ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಚಿದ್ರ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ 94 ಇಂದ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಮಾತಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದ್ವಿ. But ultimately in 2012 or 13, so we met. The unit came because of technology, and that is the WhatsApp. For that, more there, like my brothers or our colleagues, somebody have worked in somewhere, and that made to connect all. So first of all, I thank technology for uniting for us and contribution of as an engineer to the society. So this is my opinion. And after that, I really, anytime, everybody will tell that Girish. So now also again tell, he is the mentor for this organizing committee or uniting the people. So regarding, I would like to give some Actually, I had a very struggle during my education or whatever. So even everybody has studied in Kannada medium. So myself studied up to 10th in Kannada medium. Immediately I went to 11th. So I had a very tough job to cope up with this subject. So again, after coming to engineering, so first year I did not get the result. So that was still pain is there in this one. So every time that up to some years I have to struggle, but I never lost my this one. Came about that struggle part because Girish knows that my drawing marks was missed. My result not announced in the first year. So I went here and there, but finally I got the result after just to enroll for the second this one. So then second year also I could not due to health. I lost some three subjects. So finally here I was able to do everything, and I decided that I have to get into the first class. So that I achieved. So it is not telling that others make it. But struggle I am telling. So everybody who struggles, so definitely there will be achievements. And also when I joined the Department of Telecom, so I went as a Group B officer. But over me some ITS officers were there. That is, they are all Indian Engineering Services. So that time we had not having the idea about writing that exam. So after a few years, again I took as a challenge and I completed Group A exam, and now I am become Group A officer. So what I want to do is, one who struggles and keeping aim, definitely he will achieve. So whether it is a personal or official or whatever, so first you have a very good aim, and that aim should not be negative, it should be a positive aim. So in that way, just I am not linking my personal thing, so just I want to share that anybody who take care of their aims and keeping track on that, they can achieve. So as I told, age is just a number, so we have to go lot, and again we have to concentrate on our family, our children, everything. Now this is the right time. We have to focus on our children for their education also. So, and I request Girish, I told, just to collect one diary and we'll write our names, address, working, all those things. It may future will help, so that again we'll have some discussions or something. So once again I will thank all of you for coming this, and we are also part of this event, and I hope such events will happen regularly, and out of 60 I think 25 are there, so we'll try to connect more friends together. So this is the opportunity given. Thank you very much.
I'll keep it short. So like many of you said, right, ultimately what matters in life is the power of human connections. Okay, that's I strongly believe in. I mean, many times, okay, we talk about money, career, blah, 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 and so on and so forth, right? But if there is no human connectivity or relationship, right, nothing goes for a toss. You always see people, okay, who are multimillionaires, billionaires, and so on, right? They commit suicide. They have money, they have everything with them. But what they may be missing is probably they don't connect with people, they don't speak out, they don't release their emotions and so on, right? So I strongly believe in the power of human connections, and that's predominantly I learned over a period of time, right? Obviously I don't want to start with all the, I have shared many a time that like what Nagaraj said, right? So we also came from a pretty maybe difficult childhood and so on and so forth for a variety of reasons. But yeah, like many of you said, I mean there's a lot of luck also which played a very big role in our lives. Meaning when we graduated in '94, right? I mean the IT revolution was just picking up. Obviously you cannot try to have some leading indicator where it will go and so on. But we just rode the wave. Let's be pretty honest about it. I mean, if we are today at this level in all aspects of life, and everyone in our class, I keep telling that, right? Everyone in our class has been very successful. Probably some got the early break. Some of us struggled initially, like we mentioned, right? We started with say a salary of 2,000 rupees. Naveen and myself, we are childhood friends. We always used to say, we used to sit on his compound wall and say, that's what was, I can vouch for that, right? And but over a period of time, see, I mean, by the grace of God and hard work and so on, right? I mean, things have moved. And when you see the last 25, 30 years, literally, I mean, it's been a very amazing ride, right? And we have just rode the wave. And again, yeah, along with all these successes also comes health, right? So as we keep aging, today morning I was also talking to somebody saying, okay, every part in an automobile, for example, has its own lifespan, right? There is always end of life. So we have to ensure that we can just prolong it. We cannot say, okay, fine, at 80 I'll be like what I'm at 50 or whatever, right? So mentally, probably we are still at 18 or 21, the same way we cut jokes, and because of similar age group, right, we behave the way like we are in college. Many of us, we don't interact on a daily basis, but when we talk to you people, okay, unless we meet face to face, for us, many of the things would be, my mental map of people would be, oh, I don't think about what we are in college. Probably he's at, maybe in his profession, right? He's somewhere, right? But for us, he's Suresh, just too. It's as simple as that. I'm just taking a placeholder, it can be anybody else. So the friend circle, right, is very, very important in life. And many times it so happens in good or bad, right? I mean, the support system, which makes a very, very big difference. And the power of human connections is what I feel. And like Naga mentioned, right, technology has helped us achieve that. I tried, even prior to even Facebook or even WhatsApp coming later, right? So I also tried way back probably in the mid 2000s through Yahoo Mail and Hotmail and all. Obviously it's a very, very passive thing, but some guys were like Mohan Ram and so on, right? Were very, very reciprocative and so on. But it would just get lost in the heap of emails, right? But this particular platform has helped us connect together, and these are, and everything has good and bad, right? So these platforms have helped us connect, and if we are sitting here today, it's only because of the power of technology, right? And technology is definitely having its own pluses and minuses. In fact, if you see, I'm pretty vocal on the group, right? And so is there are pretty vocal, most vocal. And other part is, I mean, it's not that, okay, I'm vocal, that means, okay, that kind of thing, right? So, I mean, everybody is different. So there are instances, I mean, sometimes we also have difference of opinion, I mean, our conversations go to high pitch and so on, but that doesn't mean that, okay, we are sworn enemies or whatever, right? I mean, it happens, it has happened, but friendship is friendship. And unless you fight with people, you cannot just have something and difference of opinion, just leave it at that, right? So my personal opinion is whether it is this particular group, and for me, personally, right, why I consider, for me, like I have mentioned many times, for me it's like extended family. Right? Maybe sometimes I blurt out a lot of things also, but I consider that because I consider this group as a family, right? And many times we have also ensured that we help each other in times of need and so on. Let's hope we continue that further. I mean, we need to still rein in some people who are not very active on this, though. Morning somebody was asking me, how many people are in Bangalore, everybody coming here and so on. Everybody has their own pluses and minuses, and trying to ensure that we get more people on board. And I will tell you again, Chandra and I were discussing, right, things like, okay, photo madbeka, group photo beka. He made a very, very valid point, okay? And we would have seen such things with, maybe I'll take just 30 seconds more. So, as we age, right, we would see that in our parents or grandparents earlier, right? I have seen, especially when I do have a walk in the neighborhood, especially elderly people, even if we talk to them, right, they will be doing a small walk. Of course, they cannot walk much. They feel so good about it. Many times it so happens that there are not many people who talk to them and so on, right? Sometime down the line, we are going in that path. So all these reminiscing, all these kind of things, right, will make a very big difference. But again, because of the power of connectivity and so on, right? There are people, I am on some groups, obviously I'm not active there because obviously that the bandwidths don't meet there, or 60 plus, 65%, because some of the groups companies I work like BPL, right? I was just a entry level employee there, and those guys were already in their 50s, and so they are now 75. Obviously, but when I see their interactions, right? I mean, when we have people who are in the same age group, we think alike, and that too, we all grew together and we are all connected, right? My personal suggestion and opinion is we have to keep that connect going, and that is going to help us, and it will help a lot as we keep aging and we keep meeting, sharing ideas and so on and so forth. So I hope people get more active on the group, and also like Murli says, right, okay, what is WhatsApp? Ultimately, it is a dial-in this thing, right? The more we meet, the more we interact, right? And more face-to-face kind of communication we do. Somebody comes from US or some other, we are always ready. Like I keep jovially saying, right? Okay, we need just a reason to connect, right? So, and that's also the facet of life. So we need to do it more and more. So that, and of course, social causes and so on and so forth. We can always do it, definitely. So I hope all of you had a nice time today. And out of the 25 people who signed up, Rama was the 25th today morning. Called me, you know, Idya chance I told come, but you have to pay 3,500. So I mean, we share a different camaraderie. So then only Loki could not turn up, primarily because he said he's going to come, but he had also mentioned he may have a travel, but for him, incidentally he had a travel, so he could not come. So otherwise, the turnout was as good as 100%. So I'm pretty happy about the efforts. I'll not call it a big effort or whatever groundwork I did, right? It's kind of getting fructifying and so on. So I think it was a pretty useful get together. Is what I can
say. I'm so happy we could meet here in this location, which is hardly less than 1 kilometer away from where we all first met, which is our college UVCE. For me, I came from a small town, Trivandrum, as you all know, and coming to a big city like Bangalore, I used to look at all of you as, you know, big city people, and I had a lot to learn from all of you. But you all accepted me, and, you know, I really feel, with this group, I feel very, very comfortable. It was my kind of entry into Bangalore. Both this group as well as the city has made me a part of it, and I'm very, very happy. I always feel, you know, a lot of comfort with this group. And I think the most important thing for me is what Girish mentioned, is that, you know, as we age, I think the one thing I realize is the importance of human relationship. That is something we cannot, no amount of money, whatever we earn, whatever position we are, that relationships cannot be bought. It has to be nurtured and cultivated. And I think occasions like this, see, I was very bad at it earlier, like, you know, I would even sometimes, you know, some wedding or something like that, I used to just, you know, for some trivial reason not go, and then, you know, I used to think, okay, so what, next time I meet or something. Now I'm also, you know, trying to take more and more effort, and I think all of us, you know, and many of you are doing it, you know, naturally, that how to keep those relationships alive and how to, you know, make sure that, you know, because in this world there are millions of people, but hardly a handful care about us, whether we are alive, dead, you know, doing well or not. And it is really these groups which are those people who care about us in this huge, you know, in the huge population of the world. So I think we have to keep that alive. We have to take every opportunity to meet up. I mean, from my side, you know, I have not yet turned 50, yet to turn, but so in a couple of months I will be 50. So that is my, you know, resolution, that I want to maintain the relationship very strongly. Those who care about me, those whom I care about, you know, I don't want to in any way kind of lose touch, okay? And of course, I mean, I think it's a new chapter in life. I mean, I want to really, you know, like somebody said, you know, it's not about what we've done so far, but what we're going to do in the next 50 years. I want to focus on that. So hopefully we'll be together in that journey. Thank you.
Historic place, right? And bang in the middle of the city. So the founder for our college and this place.
Both were started 100 years back.
Yeah, both started the same year.
So we should have all been given memberships also.
What's the waiting list?
After century, they won't stop.
It's from the okay, actually, I mean, we started a bit late, but Anand and myself were saying, we wanted to start at 11, then have this, but it turned out to be a blessing in disguise. There was a 1 hour or 1.5 hour networking which happened starting from 11 in the other place, right? And we didn't want to just be a spoke in the wheel, right? That went on pretty well. So if you see all these things there, right? So we just wanted to do some fun games like we do in the offsites and so on. But I think now it's too late, we have to leave and so on. But probably you can keep that up. And by the way, the most important part, iodine, sir. We are also planning, I don't know how much it will work, but we plan to go to UVCE next door. So probably just walk around and then take a couple of snaps and so on. Because getting 25 people on a common platform like this, maybe we did it in 2019, just spend some time, reminisce or whatever, maybe a group photo and so on. And if they allow us, probably a short game of cricket, I have everything ready So Suresh has got his football as well, with some penalty kicks and so on. I mean, it's not forcible, but whoever wants to.
Just make sure Gopi is the cricket captain. He's got it as his CV, so make sure Gopi has to be the cricket captain.
Yeah. And then we'll see. First of all, whether it's open, I think it is open. Or probably in the central college, central college grounds. Yeah, we can do it. We can probably end up and could not probably the sports session and so on. People who don't want to get involved physically also, right? Probably can be part of the overall thing. So this is the, or if there's something interesting, we can do it as well, even after the cricket.
First we'll go to UVCE.
Yeah, then we'll decide which bar.
One second. One thing I want to share. So, now this is the age going, and future some family functions, so many things will happen. So everybody will get opportunity to meet at there. So if any functions or whatever they perform in their also personal, so try to come to that part of the function. So even anybody is inviting me as a group, we will try to come so that we will meet them. So it is not that occasionally we have to meet and arrange some function. So better we will meet in the
on a lighter note, I wanted to, initially when we started, we told we will have a family get together. 99% of people said no. Obviously, I'm kidding. But again, a very, very important point.
We deployed so many Nokia equipments in North India. South India is not done. We completely Nokia. Telecom equipment. That time I was very sure.
I get it. Smile, sir, smile. Smile. I get it. Live ಇದೆ.
ಒಂದೇ ನಿಮಿಷ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಹೋಯ್ತು ಈಗ.
1 minute.
ಸರ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀನಿ.
1 minute.
ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ.
ಸರ್ ಒಂದು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ.
iPhone the best selfie.
ಹೋಗಿ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Quick. Okay, sir. Okay. Okay, sir. Okay. ಓಕೆ ಸರ್ ಸರ್ ಬನ್ನಿ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಿಗೆ ಬನ್ನಿ ಸರ್ ಹಾಂ ಓಕೆ ಸರ್
ದೊಡ್ಡ ಥರ ತೆಗೀರಿ ತುಂಬ ಚಿಕ್ಕವನು
ಇದು ಓಕೆ ಸರ್ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಗ್ಯಾಪು ಅಂದರೆ ಓಕೆ ಸರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಂದರೆ ಇದು ಕಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಬ್ಯಾನರ್
50 ಬರುತ್ತೆ
ಸೊ ನೋಡಿ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಇದಾಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಓಕೆ ಸರ್ ಹಾಂ ಇದು ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಓಕೆ ಸರ್ ಓಕೆ ಸರ್ ಓಕೆ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಎತ್ಬಿಡಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಜಿ ಸರ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬನ್ನಿ ಓಕೆ ಸರ್ ಓಕೆ ಸರ್ ಹಾಕೇರಿ ಓಕೆ ಸರ್ ಸರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾ ನೋಡಿ. ಯಾಕೆ ಸರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾ ನೋಡಿ ಸರ್, ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾ ನೋಡಿ ಸರ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾ ನೋಡಿ. ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ ಸರ್. ಸರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾ ನೋಡಿ. ಸರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಓಕೆ ಸರ್. ಸರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾ ನೋಡಿ. ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾ ನೋಡಪ್ಪ ಸರ್ ನೋಡಿ. ಓಕೆ ಸರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾ ನೋಡಿ. ಸರ್ 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 ಈ ಕಡೆ ಸರ್. ಸೂಪರ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಸರ್. ಒಂದು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸರ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬನ್ನಿ. ಓಕೆ ಸರ್. ಓಕೆ ಸರ್.
ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಿ